I cleaned up my sewing room. Well, that's kind of sorted, with my next project laid out. Because I'm not sure if this is going to fit me, I am going to make a mock-up first. I am concerned, similarly to Noel from Costuming Drama, I'm a larger busted lady, and I don't really want to have folding issues over that area. So I'm going to be making a mock-up out of this really old, washed but grubby sheet, and hopefully everything will go according to plan and I can start cutting out awesome fabric. Alright, let's try this again with less nosy tail interruptions. That'll make sure that we have everything covered. Yeah, that's nearly an inch perfectly, so let's add 2 inches. And then that side is the side that is your front sleeve flappy bit, and that bit's attached to the back. So this bit isn't actually attached to anything. It's attached to itself, I guess, because that's then the wrap, and those 2 bits don't get attached. So that can be whatever length it wants, and we'll add 2 inches at the back. Done. Mummy, just dropping things. Thread and you weren't paying attention all the way back here. Time to dig. One advantage to hand sewing for sure is you never run out of bobbin thread. Flick your collar out, of course. I mean, all in all, it's sitting pretty well. Let's see what these crossovers do. They're not going to be long enough, that's for sure. Oh, it's not too bad. I do need, I want to say, about a hand's length. So whatever that is, 6 inches. That's to breach the gap in the back. Show you what that looks like. Here's my end. So I need sort of that distance across to get a meet in the back for the hooks and eyes. Otherwise, it's sitting pretty well. The bottoms don't match up. I did do 2 inches instead of 1 inch with the idea that I would just chop the edges off. For some reason, one side is much longer than the other. It's almost like 1.5 inches, and this is nearly 1 inch. It's very odd. I don't know why they don't line up the same way. I think I'm ready to cut this out of my fabric. And now I gotta decide what fabric I want to use. And we're back to going through stashes. I should have seen this coming. Let's have a look, have a rummage through the tubs, the stuff, and the stuff. So I started cutting. This is supposed to have seam allowance on it. And so I've messed this bit up. And I don't know if I have enough room to shift it that way to fix it. So we shall see. Now this wool does have a right side and a wrong side. One side is fuzzy. One side is fuzzy, and the other side is not as fuzzy. It's got like a weave to it, which is weave and fuzzy. So I'm flipping this entire thing over to make sure I have fuzzy side up for the tracing of the next piece. As you do. Now, because I'm a rebel, and also because I rewatched costuming drama Noelle's vlog where she made her cape, I'm not going to do the darts in the side bits until I've put it on again, and then I'm going to try and, I guess, drape the darts myself because and also because I'm smart, I managed to draw my lines on the fuzzy sides instead of on the side that we're not going to see, so now I have to pin the stuffing out of this thing so I can see my sew lines, or hope that my guesstimation of about 1 centimetre was spot on. So I decided to do my next cutout on the floor because it's easier. Oh, don't scratch on that, cat. Go, go. So yeah, time to draw around my shapes and do some snipping. Right, go in. Go on. Go on. I'll lock you in. I can cut in peace. So, update. I've just finished pressing my collars. They gonna go back to back, and they each have a feather thing, because I think I'm probably going to chop and change between having black on the outside or red on the outside. I'm going to hand stitch around the edges of both, and then I need to double check, line the collar contrast up on the collar pieces and top stitch it down. I will do that. Place the two collar pieces right sides together and stitch around the 3 straight edges, leaving the neckline open. Turn and press the collar right side out. Okay, so top stitch that one down and that one down, and then put them together and stitch around the edge. Now, I've already ironed this, so I might just sort of slip stitch it around the edge by hand instead of machine sewing it. Maybe I'll still do that inside out. I don't know. Got to tighten up these edges, they're not quite matching up. I do have the black. I've tried pressing these seams flat. I think I'm gonna have to tack them flat and then steam them. I found out that this wool is not wool. It's definitely got some polyester in it because my iron got dirty. So I've got my iron on the hottest setting and I've been ironing through a piece of linen cloth. I think it's linen, pretty sure it's linen. Linen cotton, probably. So yeah, I'm gonna have to probably baste the shoulder seams down and then steam the bejeebers out of them. So that's black. The red is all sewn together as well, but I haven't clipped the shoulder seams yet. This has definitely got lots of polyester in it because it's the one that melted and made my iron red, and then this one I've just been really careful with. So it is now 11 p.m. and so tomorrow we'll finish. We'll try to finish. We will do some more sewing tomorrow. Baste and stitch the cape sleeves to the back and front of the arm side area. Repeat for the lining. By baste they mean shove it full of pins, right? Yeah? Yeah. Look how wibbly wobbly I've managed to make this scene because I didn't pin it enough. Probably using too long a thread as well, but oh well. Oh, this is where I backstitched, I think. Back. Yesterday when I was top stitching around the edge here, I got 3/4 of the way around, about to here, and I was stitching vertically, and I realised I stopped and put it down to make sure it was flat, and I realised I had this bulge through here because I had a pin here and I had pinned on each corner, but I didn't have anything here, and so I had to unpick that and re-sew it, repin it. I put like pins every centimetre and repinned the whole thing. Today, just to make me feel better, Abby Cox put out her 5 things to improve your hand sewing, and one of them was basting. And like, I know basting exists. I've already sort of ignored that in my video,
I basically shove it full of pins, right? Yeah? Yeah.
But now, like, I've always pinned the bejeebers out of everything, and maybe it's time I grew up a little bit and stopped being so lazy. So I basted the edge all the way around of this. I'll give it a good solid iron again now that the pins are out, and hopefully that will set it proper. I've also basted around the top of the ball and the top of this. I have yet to top stitch this down, that's my next job. Speaking of pins. And then my next job will be finishing off all of these pleats in the black and in the red. I need to, the instructions say to take them down to like, it's imperial, it does my head in. I have to go back a page. Stitch 3 darts on each bit, done that. Cut the excess of the darts back to 1/2 inch of seam allowance and iron them facing down. 1/2 inch. Is a centimetre and a bit. Or is that 1 centimetre? Just over 1 centimetre, I think. So that's going to be real tricky up in the teeny tiny bits up here that aren't. Hi! Why do you always come in while I'm recording? So I think what I'll have to do is get to about here and then sort of smush the top end and try and press it as flat as I can. I really wish I had some sort of weights or something I could put on it. I suppose I could go get some canned food and sort of lay cans on it. Like, I can't remember which video it was now of the online YouTubers where they had like a wooden clapper thingy. I don't remember now. It's been a while. So yeah, top stitch the collar. Cut, trim, and iron for strap worths. I'm going to have to attach ribbon to the end of these, so I will look through my ribbon stash and see if I can find anything nice. Don't think I have any nice dark reds, so I might have to go to Spotlight tomorrow and see what I can find, because ideally I want a ribbon that's, what's that, 3 centimeters wide? As wide as the, not that you can really tell, it's really hard to see. About that wide, once that's flat. And so that, I think, is about 3 centimeters. I have a rule here. 4 centimeters. Just shy of 2 inches for you imperial folk. So I think I want some in dark red. I might have some black ribbon, but I don't have black ribbon that wide, I'm pretty sure. So we'll have a look, see what we've got. Otherwise, I suppose I can, the last step is essentially bag lining. Attach the collars, read the instructions. Base the collar contrast onto the top piece and touch it, yep. Last sheet of instructions. Place the 2 collar pieces right sides together and stitch around the 3 straight edges. Yep. Turn and press. Okay, so they want it done inside out. I think I'll just slip stitch over the top. Base the collar around the neckline of the cape. So put the collar in on one side. Take the entire fabric, cape and lining, place them right sides together. Flip. So when you're doing that, you're doing like an inside out version of the cape, we've got to make sure our collar is in the in I'll show you when we get there. Based around the neckline of the cape, take the entire fabric cape line this residue. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. So, nearly done. And if it weren't for the ribbon, I probably have it done tonight. But it is 6:30. I'm going to make some dinner, and then we'll come back and finish tackling this. So we are pinned all the way around the neck, the collar, which is chonker, all the way up the arm, front of the crossover, the underarm, and oh, I forgot to do the rest of this side panel. So I will be pinning that up shortly. I haven't pinned the hem. It does say in the instructions to leave a gap to flip your thing inside out through the hem. My hem is currently uneven at the corners, and I want to hang it because I reckon this is going to drop. So I want to hang it first before I hem it. To do some top stitching because even though I ironed it, and you can see the pin marks from where I ironed, it's just not sitting flat. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I think I've got some really nice cream silk twist that I might maybe do like a running stitch or something around the edge and around the collar perhaps, because my basting stitches are still in there, and I reckon if I took the basting out then it would be quite a wide thing and sit quite wide. This black wool is much thicker than the red wool. The red wool does wool. The red wool does what it's told, the black wool not so much. So it is what it is, unfortunately. The reason I'm doing this is I expected the red, because it's not 100% wool, it is definitely meltable, expected it to drop a little bit, and I think it has actually. You can vaguely see my original chalk line running across there from when I originally traced the piece. But yeah. So now what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go and, well, I'm going to trim these ugly bits off, and then I'm going to probably just turn it under and then slip stitch it by hand. Yeah, probably that. That's the plan. I procrastinated last night by making a chair cover for that chair that was dark so he'd actually show up on camera, because the pale brown one wasn't working. That's the white one. It's gonna be really hard up here when there's not even a Don't sit. Maybe he will go to sleep and stop crying every 10 minutes for I don't know what. His kitty litter's clean, he's got water, he's got food. What more do you want?